Good morning, everyone. In yesterday's talk, we have tried to complete the forest types, forest resource mapping, and what are the different kinds of disasters which took place in forest inside the forest. So today we will be starting the most common disasters, which is called as forest fire mapping, where we will be studying the forest fire susceptibility, risk modeling, and management using geospatial approach. Now, in this study, we will be, knowing the basic types of fire, what is fire, how many types of fire, and what is a global scenario as well as the Indian scenario, and a case study which we have taken up to study these susceptibility, risk modeling, and management of Himachal Pradesh. So this all things we will be discussing in this one or two lectures. Let's start with the forest fire. Now, what is this forest fire? Forest fire, basically, it is a kind of disaster, and it is one of the most destructive natural disaster known to mankind. Here, in case of Indian scenario, if you talk about Indian scenario, there are very rare cases of natural types of fires. Most of the cases, or rather we can say ki 10 out of 9 out of 10 cases, they are because of the human induced factors, maybe sometimes intentionally or sometimes unintentionally. So if you see the forest fire, basically it is a kind of damage to the natural forests or natural forces which are causing a lot of damage inside the forested areas. While in case of forest fires, okay, in especially in context of Indian context, it is generally human induced forest fires, where 9 out of 10 cases, if you take an uh, uh, approximity of these forest fires, so 9 out of 10 fires are due to the human induced factors. So there are many factors which leads to these forest fires. So while we are doing this susceptibility mapping, risk modeling, so firstly we have to know what is forest fire, then what are the factors which induce these fires or which leads to the forest fire activities. So we can broadly categorize these factors into maybe four classes. They are topographical factors, they are climatic factors, they are accessibility to various things like road, like settlements, like agriculture areas. So accessibility to various factors. And then we have the major type, which is known as the fuel type or the fuel moisture content in the forest areas. So when we are talking about the topographical factors, they are generally related with the topography of the area, whether the area is having high slope or low slope, which is sun facing direction of that particular area, and what is the elevation of that particular area, what kind of hill shade or view shade that area is having. So all these factors, they include the topographical factors. The climatic factors, which are generally related to the humidity, temperature, precipitation, wind direction, speed, all those kind of, which are basically the meteorological factors related to the climatic factors. Accessibility, I have told you, and the fuel types, they are the basic leading factors which affects the forest fires, followed by the subclasses which I have also told you right now. Okay. Then what are the key causes of fires? That is also an important factor to study. So while we are talking about the causes of forest fire, then we have three major types of causes which can lead to the forest fire. One is the natural causes, second is the incident or accidental cause, or the third one is the incendiarism. So first one is the natural cause. Generally, it is because of the natural causes like lightning or the friction between the quartzite stone due to the very high temperature in a particular areas. Okay, or it is a friction between the quartzite stones and the dry bamboo clumps causes sometimes a very prominent forest fires. However, these natural causes are very rare, especially in case of Indian context. Okay, in very high temperature prone areas or in areas where we have volcanic eruption related activities, these kind of activities are common in those areas. But in case of Indian context, they are very rare. Rather, we can say that they are there are no cases of natural fires. Then or very rarely you will find the natural fires. Then we have accidental causes. Now accidental causes are, one is incendiarism or intentionally when we are doing it, or the other one is unintentionally when some due to some activities of people, the fire it's lit up. Okay, so in case of accidental causes, following reasons are responsible for the these kind of fires, like burning of cigarettes or bidis in the forested areas. While we are doing smoking or something, we are throwing the burning cigarettes or bidis into the forest areas, and due to the dry conditions in that forested area, sometimes it causes fire. Then the scintilla from the wooden torches. Okay, in night times, many of the villages people, they used to in earlier times they used to use those lanterns. Okay, so the burning scintilla or the wooden torches they used to use, so those things sometimes they throw in the forested areas like that, and due to the wind direction or something, some other factors which are play a positive role in the lighting up of those fires. So the person, they have never thought about the after effects of throwing those things into the forest areas, or burning of fire behind in the forested areas by tourists. Many tourists, they go into the forested areas for different kinds of adventure tourism activities. So they do inside the forested areas the campfire or those kind of things, and then sometimes due to their carelessness, again it can cause the forest fires due to the hunters, workers, fuel wood collectors, grazers. So due to their unintentional carelessness, sometimes that leads to the accidental fires. Then we have the third reason, which is the incendiarism. Okay, where forest fire, they are being lit up by the people who are residing inside those forested areas due to their some personal grudges, or due to some their purpose to achieve it. So intentionally they put fire to gain some miscreant purpose of theirs. Okay, so we have three major causes of forest fires. Now the types of fire. So all these basics we need to know before we are going for the study of forest fires. Now, what are the major types of fires? One is surface fire, one is ground fire, and one is the ground fire. Okay, so surface fire, it generally occurs on or near the ground, on the litter, or on the ground cover. You can see here in the figure that what is surface fire. So this surface fire is the most common fire type in the most of the fire prone areas. Then we have crown fires. A crown fire generally advances from the top to top of the trees, okay, or it is less independently of surface fire, okay. It is starting from the top of the top trees, and it is less commonly called as independent surface fire risk, okay. Then this is a picture which is showing the ground fire in a particular area. Then we have ground fires. Ground fires generally occurs beneath the swampy layers or litter of undecomposed portion of the forest floor with intense heat, but particularly with the no flame. Here you can see by seeing this ground you cannot judge whether there is fire or not, because generally it is lit up in the swampy layers beneath the litter of undecomposed portion of the forest floor, okay. So these types are of fires are very rarely found in the high altitude Himalayas, okay. So these are the three major types of fires. Now, after knowing the forest fire introduction, the factors affecting the forest fire, and then the types of fire and the causes of fire, we must know about the global distribution of forest fires. Okay, if you see, the recent forest fire have a large impact on Australia, USA, Indonesia, Brazil, Australia, okay, Mexico, Canada, France, Turkey, Greece, Portugal, Spain, India, Italy, and many of the Russian federations and China. So the areas which are shown in the red color, they are the forest fire prone affected areas of the world. If you see in Indian context, okay, so in India, the areas which are shown in the red color, which includes the Uttarakhand part, the JNK part, the Himachal, and then the northeastern part, few parts of Rajasthan, okay, and few parts of Gujarat also, few parts of Madhya Pradesh, and very few part of the southern states or northeastern state. Okay, so in India, there are very few cases which are natural in type, or rather they are many cases which are due to the man-made causes, okay. So 99% of the cases of the country, they are caused of human induced factors. Forest fire season in India generally occurs from February to June. Okay, then annual loss is around 4,400 million every year, as per the calculations of NASA, NRSA, or the Forest Survey of India. It has estimated that in 1.5 million hectare land is every year getting affected by these forest fires. Okay, so this is a Indian scenario of forest fire. Now, the study which we are taking up for the forest fire susceptibility risk modeling and management purpose, the study area which we have taken as a case study is Shimla district of Himachal Pradesh, and this is the spatial characteristics or the spatial distribution of the city. Okay, now as I have told you in the previous lectures, that whenever we are going for the studies of you know these forest or any kind of forest related management, fires related studies, we have forest administration called as forest circles, forest divisions, forest ranges, forest blocks, forest beats. Okay, so we have a administrative distribution of the forest like this. Okay, So we officially we have 6 forest divisions in this Shimla district of Himachal Pradesh. When we have taken up this district, so we have 6 forest division, in which one complete circle and one half circle of forest has been incorporated. Now, this is what I was telling you, that forest circles and divisions under Shimla district are these are the 5 forest divisions which falls under the Shimla circle: Chaupal, Rodu, Shimla Thyok, and Shimla urban division. Then under Rampur circle we have Kotgarh and Rampur divisions. In total, it includes the 3241 square kilometer area of forest. Now, these are some common species, and these are some photographs of these species, which includes the oaks, barns, different kinds of firs, blue pine, cheer, devdar, mixed forest, and junipers. So these are the different forest types, major forest types, which this area is including. Now, these are the glimpse of some flora and fauna in district Shimla. Okay, so this is again very important to know that what kind of forest, what kind of faunal activities are there, and what kind of tourism activities are there, because each one of you must be knowing that Shimla is a very known tourism spot also, as far as the adventure tourism is concerned, as well as the scenic tourism are concerned. So these are few places which I have tried to incorporate uh, from the Shimla district, because one of the another studies which we have done earlier, that is the impact of these tourism on the forest fires. Okay, so because here in very initial slides of mine I have told you that there are in the causes, that there are causes because of human carelessness, in which one of the factor is campfire and all those kind of things, so which is directly related to the tourism activities. So that's why we have also incorporated the tourism activities into the studies, and we have a separate case study which we are going to discuss in this, ki how these tourism activities and this forest fire has a connection, and how they are impacting these tourism activities. So if you see the forest fire incidents in the complete Himachal. So we have tried to incorporate the incidents from 1954 to 2005. That time it was when we did this study, because I did this study around 2009, 2008 9. So that time we could able to collect the data from this point to this point, and yes, we'll surely update this data again with the newer data sets. But till that time, if you see, every year the causes cases of fires, they are increasing. Okay, the area is also increasing, but somewhere it is decreasing also, but the number of fires, they are increasing, which is a cause of concern, and that's why we have opted this particular study. Now if you see, this is a graph showing the fire incidents in district Shimla, Himachal Pradesh. Okay, and this is the area affected due to forest fire in district Shimla. So you see, from 2001 to 2011, we could collect that time the number of fire incidents. Okay, you see, in 2009-10 it was maximum in Shimla, around 140 cases were reported. Okay, so this is showing the number of cases, and this is showing the area affected. by the forest fires. Now, these are some live pictures of forest fires which I could collect from Himachal Pradesh Forest Department at that time. Okay, and then we have taken up this study, having few research questions like is fuel type is a really major impacting factor for the creation of fire risk model. Okay, so first research question which arise was based on the previous and historical studies, that is there really a very important role of this fuel type in the creation of fire risk model that we are going to study. And then, can a model be built to evaluate the fire risk susceptibility and modeling in reasonably accurate manner? So with the help of model, can we are able to evaluate this susceptible areas and model those areas in accurate manner. So this was the question which was there based on the things ki, really can we build a model which can show the susceptible areas, and what can it be accurate. Okay, so this we will be trying to know about with the help of these studies. Then, is it possible to estimate the accumulated risk to the forested areas using these models? Okay, so can we reduce the risk or estimate the proper risk, in which areas we are having high risk, or which can we go for that kind of models also? And is fire susceptibility and risk map and model are useful for the management issues? So these were the questions which arise during my studies, and which, on the basis of these questions, we could able to find our objectives. So the objectives of this case study specifically were to assess the determinant factors, firstly, affecting the forest fire occurrences based on the existing studies and knowledge. Okay, so firstly, we have tried to determine, matlab, that is our objective. Firstly, to assess the determinant factors which affect the forest fire occurrences based on either the historical studies or the data which is already available with the forest departments or in the field data sets. Then, secondly, to develop an accumulated fire risk model and use of these geospatial technologies for the development of these models. Thirdly, to assess the spread using different simulation modelings. And finally, to provide a combined strategies for the forest fire management plan, which is based on the traditional as well as the geospatial technologies. So finally, after the assessment of determinant factors, after the accumulation of different layers for the forest fire risk model using GIS or geospatial techniques, and finally to simulate the spread, or to find out the spread using different simulation modelings, and finally to come out with a plan or a strategy so that we can manage these fires, as well as for the management purpose we have used the traditional as well as the combination of geospatial techniques. So these were the objectives. Now, these are the materials which we have used for our studies. In this case study, which we have taken, we have used different softwares, ArcGIS, ADAS Imagen for image processing, and Farsight software, especially for the fire growth modeling. Then the data requirements, we have used the topographical data sets as well as the satellite images of LIS4 and Cartosat PAN data. Okay, then ancillary data was also taken into the consideration, in which the Survey of India topographical maps, all the divisional level maps available with the uh, divisional offices of forests that we have collected, and we have tried to put those maps into the geospatial platform. We have rectified those data set. We have tried to overlay those data sets with our topographical sheets, and we have tried to get as much as information we can, we could collect from those maps also. Then working plans falls under the district Shimla. We have taken all the working plans for each and every forest division. So we have incorporated those six, this working plans also into our studies. Then we have also gone through each and every compartment history file of each forest division. So huge work was taken into consideration for the forest fire susceptibility modeling. Okay, then hardware's normal HP workstation, compass, measuring tapes, calipers, hypsometers for different kinds of observation, which I have told you in my lecture where we have done the surveying and mapping part. Okay, now this is the methodology we have used for the creation of this complete forest fire management plan, starting from the data collection, data manipulations, database creation. Okay, and then different kinds of modeling and simulations can has been done, and finally we come out with the different statistical and forest risk maps, and then finally we came out with a management plan based on these different risk maps. Okay, so in the study we have used the satellite data sets, the topographical maps, the secondary data sets, and the meteorological data sets. Okay, so in case of satellite data set, we have used list 3, list 4, and Ester data set. In case of topographical map, we have used 1 is to 50,000 Survey of India sheets, secondary data set from the forest divisions, different division level maps, or different other maps which we could collect from the forest department, and then meteorological data which we could able to get from the Indian Meteorological Department, IMD. Okay, where we have used temperature data, rainfall data, humidity, wind speed and wind direction data, and cloud data, as this was the input parameters for this simulation modeling. Along with this, we have from the satellite image, we georectified that, and then from this secondary and topo sheets, we have able to create a base map, and then based on the base map, we have rectified these images. Then we have gone for the pre-field work, and based on the pre-field work, we have done the area of interest extraction. Okay, so after that we have created various basic layers, which includes the forest density and type map, fuel type map, slope, aspect, elevation, agriculture, accessibility to road and settlement. Okay, then indexing of these basic layers were done based on the weightage. Then the final risk map was created based on the indexing of these layers. And after this risk map creation, we have also gone through, for the final this risk map creation, we have gone through the different modeling techniques, which includes the knowledge based method to this indexing map, the AHP method, and the fuzzy analytics method. Okay, now based on these three modeling techniques, we have got the three different fire risk maps, where we have the knowledge based fire risk map, where we have the AHP based fire risk map, where we have the fuzzy based fire risk map. Okay, so after that, after getting these three maps of fire risk based on different models, we could go for the different statistical analysis, okay, which are based on the different criterias. Okay, then after that, we have proceeded for the simulation modeling, where these forest type maps, this topographical information, this other information, and the meteorological information. That means all the things which we have talked in the, if you go through the first slide where we were discussing about the factors, topographical, then the accessibility related factors, then the meteorological factors, and the forest type and classification related factors. All the factors, all the four factors were taken into consideration together for forest fire simulation modeling. Okay, now with the help of simulation modeling, we were able to calculate the fire area, day-wise fire expansion, and the forest type-wise area calculation. Okay, so on the basis of simulation, we could able to get the exact idea about the area affected by the fire, and what will be the early expansion of these fires, and what kind of fire will be there. So if we know the early expansion of the fire, okay, or how much area is being affected by the fire every hour, okay, if we stop the fire at first hour itself, then how much loss can be minimized. That kind of management plans we are able to make with the help of these kind of things. Okay, so that's why we have done the fire risk susceptibility or fire risk map creation with the help of different models, and along with that, with the help of all the parameters, whether it is meteorological, whether it is topographical, whether it is related to their forest type, density, or fuel type, or whether it is related to the accessibility of various factors. Okay, they were taken together as an input parameter for the simulation modeling. As we all know that the simulation modeling is a modeling where we are artificially creating all the things which are actually needed for a factor to happen. Okay, so we are creating all those kind of parameters, and based on which we are able to get the results in a form where we are able to get the aerial calculation of the fire spread, the hourly basis, or the temporal expansion of the fire, that what if the fire is spreading for 1 hour, what if the fire is spreading for 2 hours, and what if the fire is longing for 1 day. So here we have given a maximum time of 3 days, because in hilly areas, in plain areas, maybe it is 1 day, but in hilly areas sometimes due to the high or the tough terrain conditions, sometimes it is very difficult to get into the areas where we have the forest fire cases, and that leads to the expansion of fire for a day or 2 days. So we have taken 2 days expansion of fires, which I'm going to show you in the next slides also. Then this is a satellite image of list 4 data of 2009. This is list 3 data set. Now we have the results. We have come out with the forest type mapping in the area. Here you can see these many types of forest were there in the Shimla district, where the maximum type of forest is the mixed conifer forest, because the conifer has a lot of resin content, So we have, further you will see we have categorized it in more high risk prone type of forest. Okay, then we have, secondly, we have moist deodar, which is comparatively low danger of fire. Then we have junipers in third position, that is 328 square kilometer areas, which is around 6.29 of the total percentage of the forest. Now you can see the graph also, where we have maximum forest, or what kind of land use, land cover are there. Then the fuel type index map. Now based on this fuel type, we are we have categorized the things. I told you that the pines, they have the resin content, so that's why we have given the maximum weightage to this type of trees who are having cheap pine, and then mixed with this, we have again allotted a more prone to the fires. Then firs, they are also prone to fire moderately. So as per the intensity of different trees, we have categorized the, or we have assigned them the weight. Okay, so as per the fuel type indexing, the maximum area it is falls under the low risk prone area, because you see the moist deodar is having 10% of the total forested areas, which is having no risk. Okay, and many classes are there of forest, because in high altitude areas of Shipla there are the expansion of forests like that. Okay, so that's why in case of fuel type, there is 73% of the total area is under this class. And then we have the aspect map. Okay, this is the aspect map of the complete district. This is the aspect index map. As we all know that the south is a mostly the sun facing direction of the any so aspect is basically the um, uh, area which is facing the sun. Okay, so the south is face the sun directly, then followed by southwest, followed by southeast, whereas the north and northeast are the most dumpy areas. So that's why they were assigned as no risk zone. So here, in case of aspect index mac, we have very high under 13%, under high again we have 13%, moderate 12, and followed by no risk and risk 25 and 26 in the case study. Okay, so then slope map. Higher the slope, high will be the index of fire spreading, and lower the slope, low will be the risk or no risk will be there. So that's why we have assigned more weight to the high slopey areas, and we have assigned less weight to the. So as per that, around 62% area is falls under no risk or low risk zone, or only 6% under very high to high risk. Then elevation, the district is having from eight different heights, which exceeds up to 5700 meters from the mean sea level. Okay, so higher the height, lower will be the risk of fires, and lower the heights, high will be the chances of fire spreading. Okay, so here you can see, based on the elevation, that around 67% of the total area is under high and very high risk, whereas only 20% is under low and no risk zone. Then we have the village indexing maps, where we have done marked all the villages, and then we have buffered them. Okay, and then we have assigned more risk to the nearer buffer and high risk to the far buffer. Okay, so as per that, this is a risk map which we could able to get Same is the case for the roads also. We have assigned the buffers of 100 meters, and then along the roadside, whatever buffer is just nearer to the roads has a more chances of fire occurrences, which are far away. They have, so this is the risk intensity of road index map. Then agriculture was also the areas which are having agriculture activities inside the forested areas. They are also may we have made a buffer of those agriculture areas, and then we could able to get these results. The nearer the area, higher will be the risk. Far the area, lower will be the risk. Okay. Then the model outputs of cumulative fire risk, where we have assigned the maximum value to the fuel index, followed by slope, and the aspect index, road index, elevation, and then the settlement. And so these all are the equations which were taken into consideration for the AHP and knowledge based methods. Then we have also taken into consideration the fuzzy MCDM, and these are the results. Okay, as per the knowledge base, if you see around 229 square kilometer area, which is around 4.5% of the total forest area, then only 4.24, which is 8.4 of total area, is under very high and high risk, whereas maximum area falls under moderate to low risk, that is around 80-85%. Okay, as per the knowledge base. As per the AHP, only 2 point only 20 percent area of the total area is falls under moderate to high risk, and rest low and no risk. And then as per the fuzzy modeling, we have got around 18% of the total area under risk. Okay, and rest the moderate to low risk. So while we have quantified our map with the field observation and the previous cases of fire incidents, we found that there is the there is a you know what you can call, the results are matching more with the forest fire, in terms of forest fire with the knowledge base. Okay, so that's why we have concluded our studies while we were comparing these three models, where we have used the knowledge base, the AHP based, and the fuzzy base, that the knowledge based model has given uh, proper results of or more accurate results, as all the results were good. As you can see, in all the results around, there is a difference of 5-6%. Okay, but the most of the area that is falls under low or no risk zone. Okay, but the most of the accurate results were found in terms of these three models, the knowledge base MCDA. Okay, so I think I will be concluding my lecture here. The simulation modeling of these forest fire we will be doing in our next class or next lecture. Today I am concluding my lecture here itself, uh, uh, in which we have tried to cover what is forest fire, what are the factors which influence forest fire, and then what are the different types of fire, and what are the different causes of forest fires. Along with that, we also have an idea about what what kind of um, what kind of yes, what kind of incidents which are taking place in context with Indian context. And then we have also studied, uh, or we had also gone familiar with the things, how these forest fire incidents are happening at global level, which are the countries which are affected by these fires, and then what is the Indian scenario of these fires, and then what are the uh, status of the area which we have opted as a case study. So then we have taken a case study, how we have gone through the complete process of forest fire risk susceptibility mapping, and in the later course of time we will be doing how we can go for the simulation modeling, where we are also able to predict the future simulation modeling of the fire, so that the areas can be managed in a proper way. Okay, so with this I'm ending today's lecture. Thank you very much. You all may appear for your quiz in your elements. Thank you very much.